quit your job and live the life you've always dreamed of?
You're really living the dream, I would imagine, the expat dream.
I feel more free here than I do in the States.
This is it, man. Yeah. This is the life.
Join me, Savannah Jane Buffett, as I follow two buddies from college who quit their grueling office jobs and moved down to St. John to be bartenders in paradise. Now they're not just serving drinks, they've created the #1 microbrew in the Caribbean.
I looked out and there was about 30 cubicles. And at that moment, I said, I can't.
I knew I wanted to roll the dice and that I wanted to take a break from what I was doing. Nice place to live, don't you think?
Not bad.
It was a very surreal feeling because this was all new to me. This was going to be my new home. At that point, we knew we were all in.
They're the lucky guys, man. They make beer for a living on an island.
It's just two guys hanging out in the Caribbean and brewing some great beer and, you know, living the dream, I guess.
In Mongoose Junction on the island of St. John, going up to meet Cheech and Kevin, two best friends who moved down here about 10 years ago just to live the good life and be bartenders. Next thing you know, they went from serving beers to brewing beers in their backyard to owning their own bar, and now they are known as the St. John Brewers. They said the best way to get to know them is to head up to their bar at the tap room and try some of their beer. So let's go check it out.
Hi there. Hey, welcome.
Thanks, I'm Savannah.
Savannah, how are you? I'm Cheech.
Hi, Cheech.
Nice to meet you.
Savannah, Kevin.
Nice to meet you.
I've officially made it to the tap room.
Welcome.
May I sit down and join you?
Can we get you a cold beer?
You know you can.
Absolutely. We've got 4 styles of beer. Our summer ale is the lightest brew we make. We've got a mango ale, which is very popular. It's a mango-infused pale ale.
I gotta go mango.
Mango. My name's Vyas. I'm from St. John, Virgin Islands, originally from Rhode Island. I'm 34 years old. People call me Cheech.
My name is Kevin Chipman. I'm originally from Auburn, New York, and for the past 10 years, I've lived on St. John in the Virgin Islands.
Well, cheers. I'm psyched to be here hanging out with you guys.
Welcome to St. John. Kevin and I we met freshman year of college at the University of Vermont. We lived in the same floor, so we became friends pretty early on. Kevin and I definitely went out to parties often. You know, it was the thing to do, especially in the cold winters in Vermont. So we particularly had a good liking for beer, you know, good microbrews.
So why St. John?
I vacationed here before moving here. Ben was living here and working, so just threw out the idea, let's go do something different before we kind of get into the rest of our lives.
Go to work,
Exactly,
real life.
I was a physical therapist. I was working in a acute care hospital, so it was long hours. But it was dark when you woke up, it was dark when you got home. So I just thought that there was definitely more to life than just, you know, doing that.
I moved to California right out of college. I got an opportunity to work for NASA in the space program. It wasn't after about 2 years of work at NASA that I started thinking about new opportunities.
Chirag and I met at work. When he was here, I didn't get the sense that he was necessarily unhappy, but that he was definitely looking for something more.
I decided I was going to apply to grad school. There was one program that I was very interested in Washington, D.C. It was in space policy, of all things. Finished up the program, graduated, and I was looking for jobs. I remember meeting with somebody who took me to the office and said, we have great opportunities here, and you could work in this office. And I looked out, and there was about 30 cubicles. And at that moment, I said, I can't. I just knew at that point that's not where I wanted to be. I remember just driving up to San Francisco. That's when I started talking to Kevin. I remember we just always kept in touch. So Kevin came down, like you said, checked it out, and I remember him calling me, and he said, yeah, we can do this.
I knew I wanted to roll the dice and that I wanted to take a break from what I was doing, so it seemed like a good a spot as any.
I said, all right, I'll quit my job and let's move down there, so.
He was excited. I was kind of bummed he was leaving. I was there when he packed up the last things in his car and drove away. Even Chirag's bosses at NASA, who I now work with and see, ask about Chirag and, hey, how's Chirag doing? Is he still on the island? And he's definitely asked about and missed to this day, 10 years later.
I thought this would be a good spot to stop off and just chat with you about sort of like the beginnings of how we started here and everything about us in St. John. Yeah.
Right. Not a bad view. Wow.
This is Cruz Bay, and this is where we started out. This is our first home was down here.
Kevin and I moved on a sailboat within the first week of moving to St. John, and the sailboat was in pretty tough shape.
3 years before we lived on it, it had sunk. And then so the owners at the time, they
brought it up? They
Yeah.
didn't leave it on the bottom of the ocean?
no, probably should have, but they didn't though.
So it was basically literally like a houseboat. They were just renting it out as kind of like an
It was like
apartment?
camping on the ocean.
The price is right. I think it was about $250 for that month to rent it. So we just said, why not? We needed a place to stay.
And was it as luxurious as you imagined or a little bit different?
Beautiful, yeah. Originally we thought, oh man, we're gonna be in a boat, invite people out there, get some girls out there. Really didn't happen like that though.
The boat that Kevin and I lived on had a name. It was Shoes with No Socks. It was just the name that came with it, but we never named it. I don't think it was worthy of a name.
Was there ever this like moment in the boat where you were like, oh God, I've made a terrible mistake?
You literally would just laugh yourself to sleep over how ridiculous the situation was. I mean, going to comfortable jobs and living situations in the States to literally just sleeping on boards with a foam mat on it.
No air conditioning.
No air conditioning, no working toilet, gas stove, no refrigeration, just a block of ice.
Wow.
It was definitely hard living. A specific low point for me I can remember was the head didn't work, the shower didn't work. So for bathroom needs, while we were living on the boat, we joined a gym to shower and basically go to the bathroom. We also went up to the local market up here and shaved in the bathroom there, charged our cell phone. We were those guys.
So while you're living on the boat, I mean, you're looking for another place or?
Yeah, we were looking for a new apartment. It was just hard for us because most places are very expensive. We still didn't have a job yet. We were sending out resumes every day, walking around to all the bars and restaurants. I think if there was ever a low point, I think it was when we first started and we realized that money was tight, and if we didn't find an apartment and a job soon, this whole idea could come to an end.
And so then you guys got it together, cleaned yourselves up, and found some jobs? And...
Yeah, we found jobs. We were busboys. We got hired as busboys. That was the same day that the manager also said, hey, I have an apartment for rent. You guys interested? So it kind of all happened at once.
You were meant to be here.
One thing
Sometimes the universe lines it up for you like
Exactly.
that.
So we're very happy about that.
I definitely liked the tranquility that you were met with here on St. John.
We didn't have a lot of money with us, and we were just sort of scraping by. So we started talking to Kevin, and we started talking about what we could do and stay in St. John. If anything happened, we were in trouble. So we knew we had to find a reason to stay.
How about we go on a delivery run?
Onward! That's right, I carry kegs in a skirt. No biggie.
Let's hop on this boat, everyone.
This is a nice little piece of paradise. Do you ever have those moments where you miss home or wish you were back in the States?
The real beauty of St. John is the people.
This is a great way to end the day.